students, this is Ms. Goff. I wanted to come to you and talk to you about something called the zero product property. The zero product property just means if I have two factors that I'm multiplying, say A and B, if A times B equals 0, then either A equals 0 or B equals 0 or A and B equals 0. Which makes sense because we know that if we take any number and multiply by 0, we get 0. For example, 5 times 0 equals 0. 100 times 0 equals 0. And the same thing with variables. X times 0 equals 0. A times 0 equals 0. Okay? The zero product property is helpful in math because we can take something that we've been working with, like these factoring trinomials. You already have this in your notes. Guys, this is the page that says factoring trinomials at the top. It has standard form of a trinomial. Okay, this is what we're working off of. So we already factored this the other day. We factored into x plus 3 times x plus 4. The zero product property says I can set that equal to 0. I can do it at the first step or the second step. And then I can solve for a variable. So let me make you a little list here of what I've done. First we factored. Then I set each factor equal to 0. And then finally, I'm going to solve for the variable. Okay, so I'm going to set x plus 3 equal to 0, x plus 4 equal to 0, because we know zero product property says one of those has to equal 0. And then I'm just going to solve. Here I would subtract 3 from both sides. I'd get x equals negative 3. Here I would subtract 4 from both sides, and I'd get x equals negative 4. So I get two separate answers here. And what's really neat about this is that I can then form those into ordered pairs. Okay? If x is negative 3 and we set this whole thing equal to 0, I now have an ordered pair in x comma y, negative 3 comma 0. And I have a second ordered pair, x comma y, of negative 4 comma 0. And what's interesting about this is that then whenever we start graphing, those points on a coordinate plane, those are called the zeros of the function, which means that this graph would pass through the x-axis at those points. So when we set things equal to 0, that's easy to remember. We set it equal to 0 to solve, and it becomes the zeros of the function. We also call those the roots. Okay, so what I want you to do for today's assignment is I want you to go to the problems that you've already factored. Okay, if I scroll down here, you guys on this page, we've already factored these, we've already checked them together in class. Okay, oops, sorry about that. You had 2 through 18 even already assigned. So these should already be factored. So what I want you to do is I want you to go through, use the zero product property, okay, set each of these equal to 0, each of the two binomials, the factors here, equal to 0, and I want you to solve for the variable. You can do this on separate paper. If you don't have room in the boxes, I would highly suggest maybe using some notebook paper or just scratch paper. And when you're done with 2 through 18, remember these are already factored. When you're done with 2 through 18, solving for the variable, so I should see something like W equals 2 or -2, something like that. Okay. Then you're going to upload a picture to Google Classroom. Hope you're enjoying your snow day. This is not too much work, just enough that we don't forget what we're doing, and we introduced a new step called the zero product property. Bye for now.